100%. All right, we're live with Nico Plooy. Nico, welcome to Coffee and Conversations with Champions. Dude, it's good to have you on.
Phenomenal to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
No, absolute pleasure. Thank you for accommodating us. I know it was a bit of a rough last couple of days with our traveling. I think we were on the road for basically, like 12 days in total, shooting content for two upcoming competitions. We got the IPF World Masters in Cape Town and WPC World Champs in Durban. So it was a lot of fun. But when you're traveling and filming content, it's more work than relaxing. But yeah, so thank you for accommodating us. We greatly appreciate it.
No problem at all. I can imagine it was a ton of editing and hours that you had to put in.
Yep.
So just
Yeah.
happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking at a whole bunch of hard drives and knowing what my weekend's going to be. So, all right, give us a quick rundown as to who you are, and we'll then get into sort of your weightlifting journey, which I can't wait to chat about.
Awesome. So for those who don't know or haven't read on the screen yet, I'm Nico
Yeah.
Plooy, Olympic weightlifter by day, by night as well, because I tend to train late.
Okay.
But yeah, grew up in Kimberley. Went a bit to high school in Bloemfontein, managed to find my way all the way to Joburg,
All right.
and currently I'm all the way back where it all started in Kimberley. And yeah, just doing some personal training, strength and conditioning.
That's phenomenal. I mean, there's some really strong guys to come out of Kimberley, out of Bloem. There's something about that Northern Cape Free State area that I think you had to be big, tough, and strong to survive there in the first place.
No, that's very true. I think all the all the brandy and Coke
Yeah.
and red meat definitely has something to do with that. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I haven't done a study on that, but it would be quite interesting.
It's absolutely. I think it's the red meat for the. Firstly, you survive the trek to get there, right? Then you set up. You say,
Yeah.
okay, this is where we're going to set up. Then you live on red meat, so you get big and strong, and then you drink the brandy and coke with other guys who are big and strong. And if you can survive that, that's when the genetics come through. So it's the best of the best. So like brandy and coke's like natural selection.
It's a trial by fire.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Let's chat about the weightlifting. So, firstly, your background in sport, what was that? And then how did you get into the weightlifting side?
Yo, this is, I think, definitely a very interesting story. Luckily, I've
Cool.
nailed it down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I tend to go on random tangents.
Don't worry. No.
Um,
Random tangents is what built this podcast series.
that's that's brilliant to hear. So yeah, I think growing up, so I have two older brothers, and they 6 and 9 years older than me,
Okay.
much bigger than me as well. And then I have one sister that's 3 years younger. So I'm quite like in between the middle. So growing up, obviously we are a very competitive household.
Mm-hmm.
Competition kind of I think runs in the DNA.
Awesome.
So whether it was backyard cricket, backyard hockey, backyard rugby, like whatever it was, push-ups in the evening, we were doing that. Everything was a competition as well for me, not
Yes.
necessarily for my brothers because I'm way younger. So for
Okay.
them, it wasn't
That's
really a
that's a big
competition.
age difference. It's a lot of you had to work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm still trying to beat them in some things.
Okay.
Managed to get the better of them in a couple of things, but definitely it's definitely less than what they have beaten me in. So
Okay.
yeah,
Fair enough.
but I
Got
think
it.
yeah. So growing up, always played all the sports, whether it was chess, rugby, hockey, tennis,
Mm-hmm.
swimming. Although when you put me in a swimming pool, I just sink to the bottom. Whether it was in primary school, we did everything. I think that's one of the things that my mother always emphasized is you're going to do everything, you're going to participate in everything. And in high school, it kind of naturally,
Mm-hmm.
like the natural selection comes by, and I managed to, when I went to high school, I managed to still do a little bit of track and field. Um, and then, but specialized more in terms of rugby.
Okay.
So yeah, started actually with hockey, but transitioned over to rugby. And
Hockey's the most dangerous game in the
throughout my high
world.
school career, I
For
did
those who don't
both
know.
track and
Yeah.
field and rugby. Like I said, more.
Okay. Yep.
I've seen that. Yesterday I was coaching like grade under nines, and some of the girls I was just like holding my eyes like this because I was like, this is dangerous, man. So I
Yeah.
can definitely believe that. So, but yeah, then I went to varsity. Like I mentioned, I went
Mm-mm.
to Joburg to study at Wits, and I just wanted to play some club rugby. Little did I know, one of my friends had other plans.
Yeah.
So actually started training with the young guns in my first year. I thought it's club rugby, and he just sends me like, listen, come train.
Mm.
Like I spoke to the coach. You can come train tomorrow. We're training like 5 to 6 in the morning. I'm like, oh, sorry, 6 to 7 in the morning. I'm like,
Okay.
club rugby players, they don't train 6 to 7 in the
Yeah.
morning. This I know. So now there's already something fishy.
Right.
And when I got there, it was like the height of preseason,
Mm.
at the Wits Young Guns.
Sure.
So, but I mean, I was already in. Like, I can't back down now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He already said, no, this guy's coming from Bloom. Like, he can play rugby. So he already hyped me up. So I had to do my part
Yeah.
essentially.
Because I mean, you hear
So
Bloom, you
yeah,
think Grey Bloom, all the schools there. Like, there's a proper rugby heritage. There's no messing around.
exactly.
Yeah.
And funny enough, that is the school that I went to. So
Awesome.
that's also part of the reason why I went from hockey to rugby, just a
Okay.
bit more enjoyable.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, started training with the young guns and just continued, like just essentially didn't stop.
Right.
So until my second year, it was during actually the Varsity Cup that obviously COVID came, shut everything down. Then I came back to Kimberley, and there was a strength and conditioning coach here that there's, I don't know. Hopefully the authorities doesn't hear this, but I don't think they care, but too much about it. So he was training like people in his driveway, and I sort of knew about him because Kimberley is a very small town.
Hmm.
There's limited of like in one profession. There's limited people, so you tend
Right.
to know everybody. So I knew about this guy. Wasn't too fond because I knew he was hard. Like if you go there, you're gonna train hard. So I wasn't too fond, but I was like, okay, well, I'm I did training by myself by then. So I was like, okay, let me just go to this guy. And that's kind of, I think, where the weightlifting started for me.
Okay.
Because under him, so
Mm.
I essentially stopped playing rugby then. Had a couple of like shoulder injuries and just the
Okay.
body. I
Yeah.
wasn't getting anything out of it anymore. So I was
Right.
just like, let me move on. I didn't have any aspirations of playing professionally as well. So I just played for the love of the game. And after injuring both shoulders, you start to question that a bit.
Yep.
And
100%.
yeah, then under him, it was more functional stuff. So it's similar like CrossFit, but I
Mm-mm.
would say a little bit more structured.
Okay.
Your week tends to look a bit more of the same, with some workouts varying a little bit. So normally on Mondays it'll be like what we would do is strength, and we would basically back squat, bench, bent over row, calf raises, and
Right.
if you want to, you can clean heavy.
Okay.
And that's the 5 exercises you would do on a Monday, and you'll depend on like the training cycle, but you would go as heavy as you can normally. Not for singles though. Reps, like I say, varied, but I think that was the start of it because there was always a heavy clean
Yes.
or a heavy clean, and I can't call that a jerk, but heavy shoulders to overhead, I
Right.
think
Right.
is a
Yeah.
better description.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Um,
But based on the movement of clean.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and then fast forward, I think I would say to 2020, yeah, 2022.
Mm.
And I kind of got like bored just doing functional stuff because like I said, I'm a fairly competitive
Mm.
person.
Mm.
You miss that competitiveness.
Yes.
I even started playing basketball, not that I can play basketball, but just to be a bit competitive and
Right.
like get that team environment. And it was during that time, during the Commonwealth Games, that was on. And I've
Mm.
always known about weightlifting. I've always loved it. I was watching. I wouldn't like watch all the competitions, but I would follow the big ones religiously, I would say. And since we went
Hmm.
Commonwealth Games, like I saw people competing, and that Monday, I think it was like in the week or somewhere. And that Monday, I actually managed to clean what I considered quite heavy.
Mm.
And watching the Commonwealth Games, I was like,
Hang on.
you know what? Yeah, hang on.
Yeah.
I think I could get here. Not like win or anything, but just like, and then the thought kind of popped up. It's like, how funny would it be? Because I actually was joking with my sister because she was on track for a
Mm-mm.
different sport to go to Commonwealth Games until like an injury sidetracked her. And I was like kind of making the joke of like, how funny would it be if
Yeah.
I go to Commonwealth Games and you were the ones that were supposed to go? And for some reason,
Yeah.
I messaged both of my brothers. I remember like a because by that time she was also in Joburg, so we were staying together. And a boyfriend came to visit, and I was chatting to him, and I was like, well, why not? And I was like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
And I messaged my two brothers, kind of got the nod. The one's response was, I won't use the explicit language, but like, hell yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well,
It's like a Toyota. It's like the Toyota FJ Cruiser. Those are the yeah.
yes, AFJ Cruiser,
Yeah.
exactly. And that was like the Thursday. Ah, no, sorry. Yeah, Thursday.
Right.
And now I jumped onto the internet. I'm like, I know how it works in rugby. You
Yes.
play for your school, you go to Craven Week, and like, I know the steps, but like,
Mm.
how does it look for weightlifting? And luckily by then, Gauteng Weightlifting actually had like a kind of, like a very nice, website. So
Hmm.
emailed them, and they actually got back to me, and it was Antoinette Creel,
Yeah.
and she's like, oh, okay, but listen, come through to the gym, and like, and we can kind of put you through a workout.
Mm.
And yeah, that's literally how the journey
Sure.
started. It started with me thinking, how funny would this be?
Right. So, I mean, it's amazing going through to the gym there with Coach Anthony, with Antoinette, and
Mm.
seeing sort of the how everything's working. What was that first session for you like in the gym? I take it that would be like the first focused weightlifting session.
Yeah, no, that was literally the first time ever that I did weightlifting in a
Mm,
weightlifting gym with a coach. Like I mentioned, I knew
mm,
the movements, I knew the
mm, mm.
sport, I knew how it work, but well, let me say, I thought I knew.
Yes, fair enough.
I think that's a, I think that's a better description. I walked in there. I remember walking in and I greeted Andrew, and I was just like, I could see the
Mm, mm, mm.
experience on his face through
Yeah.
his body in the way that he portrayed himself, and I was like, listen, this is the place for me to be.
Mm,
I don't need to go check anywhere else. Like I know this is the fit for me.
yes.
And he was like, okay, let's jump in. Let's kind of like see what you got. Because he asked about it. I'm like, no, I'm like, this is what I back squat. This is what I
Mm, mm,
cleaned like last week Monday. He's like, okay, let's see. So I think I snatched like 80 on, and I missed like 90 or something like that. And I clean and jerked. I think like I clean and jerked well. Again, it was like
mm,
more like
mm,
a
mm.
press
Yeah.
than anything else. So there was like probably like 110 or something, and back squat at close to 200. So
Sure.
very strong foundation,
Yeah.
but very rough technique.
Mm,
And it was like you can see, for me, it was like normal numbers because if you grow up like in a like kind of like a rugby environment, that's the
mm.
type of numbers that everybody was doing.
Yes.
Um, well, not everybody, but like there's a certain like the strong guys on a rugby
Mm,
team.
mm,
That's the type of numbers you aim for, especially once you get to like the semi-pro level. Like I would say that
mm.
Wits is at and stuff like that. So that was like the first dedicated weightlifting session is basically maxing out and kind of like showing coach what you can do.
Yep. Like
It's like
applying
a
for a
job
job,
interview.
basically.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
job interview, but the one that I think I did well in.
Okay. Awesome. Good. Right. So from there, what was the process to the competitions? Let's talk about your first comp. What was that like? And then the progression through the different competitions.
your first competition. So that was August. So I
Mm.
started like, I know the date because I checked everything, which is cool. So it was like I started 3 August 2022, and there was SOs was end of November that year. So that was the
Mm-hmm.
first competition that we trained for. The first 2 months was, or month and a half, was me basically learning the movements,
Right.
learning how
Yeah.
to actually do them
Yeah.
properly.
Because
So it was
there
basically,
is a big technical difference there, right? Like for what we can do in the
yeah,
gym on our own, and then when you go and work with a proper coach, it's like a different sport.
100%. For
Yeah.
me, if my clean has always been
Mm,
the one that I don't need to focus that much on. The snatches, actually, I would say now I'm the most technically proficient at.
mm,
Because I just had to put in so much time and effort into it because I kept on like re-injuring my shoulder if I did
okay.
it incorrectly.
Mm,
So I needed to like kind of like nail down the technique. But the jerk, oh, that's been the headache from there until now. So literally the first competition was basically training in CrossFit shoes and learning
mm,
the movements for, like I say, a month and a half, and then
mm,
steadily
mm,
got into more of like weightlifting competition prep and stuff like that. And then essays happened. Like I said, I think it was towards the end of November. So competed in the 89 category that year, and I was a nervous wreck. Like I didn't know what to do. My technique was hit and miss and hit and miss. And so I was, like I say, fairly strong, but the consistency and the accuracy was,
mm, mm,
it was very low, the percentage. I remember the first competition getting there, and like Andrew was just like, Coach Andrew was just like, listen, just go out, give it your all.
mm, mm,
I'm like, I think I can do that. I power snatch. I'm like, oh, this is not what we're supposed to do. So I'm like, okay, cool. Now I actually need to
mm.
like snatch properly. Unfortunately, I ended up injuring my shoulder on the second one.
Right, sure.
So, which kind of like put a span in the works because now I'm like, oh, okay, I know like how to handle this, but it
Mm,
takes a fair amount of physio and rehab again. And I'm like, okay, well, but I still have a competition in front of me,
yes.
so I need to finish this. And luckily in the clean and jerk, when I brought the grip narrow, I didn't
Mm,
feel it, so I could actually clean and jerk.
awesome.
Managed to hit a personal best in the clean and jerk. I think it was like 135. So ended up with a 90 snatch, 135 clean and jerk, 225 total. I was super chuffed, but I was hooked. I was just
Yeah.
like, okay, now
This is it.
from the start, I had like, it's funny. From the start, I had a very clear goal of where I wanted to go, but now I was like, okay, like I really want to do this. Um, so yeah, but that was a lot of fun. Because the competition was in Mossel Bay,
Hmm.
and most of my mother's side of the family, well, everybody stays in like the surrounding area, so they actually had a big support crew
Oh,
there,
phenomenal.
which was, yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely made it one of the better competitions, I would say.
Right. Oh, did they at least bring you?
Memorable first one.
Yeah, did they bring you cake from the blue shed?
No, they unfortunately did not.
Okay.
But
Gonna mention
afterwards
that.
we went for
No.
afterwards we went to there's a like a pancake place
Mm,
in Hartenbos area.
okay.
I don't know if you've been there,
Not
but
yet.
if you ever there, I
Yeah.
think it's like in the spa in Hartenbos.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
it was phenomenal. It
All
is, and
right.
it's like big pancake. It's not like little ones. It's like the proper. It looks like you baking a like a monster pizza or something.
Right. Okay, we'll definitely go and check that out. I like the sound of that. So that how was it for you having the family there and having the support?
It meant the world.
Mm,
Honestly, I think without them, I wouldn't be so fired up,
mm,
and I would definitely have not gotten the last, like the second last clean and jerk. But I think it showed me one that it kind of felt like I was in the right sport
right.
because people tend to show up when they believe you can do something.
Yes.
Not everybody, but like I think it's if it's like a hit and miss for somebody, it's like, oh, if they in two minds, if they obviously know you can do something special, they'll want to be there. So I think that kind of like some odd reason that makes sense in my mind, and just like kind of showed me that I'm on the right track in terms of like the right sport. So definitely, it made me a little bit more nervous because now I knew I needed to like actually like put my best performance forward, which is what I always try and do.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was just the support made me feel kind of like welcome
Mm.
and in the right sport, if I
Sport.
can say it
Yeah.
like that.
So in the right sport, in the right place, doing the right thing, 100%.
Yeah.
The reason I ask it, especially when we were chatting with some of the strongmen that we've interviewed, and the
Yeah.
strong woman, it's incredible that the support from the crowd makes, that it makes the event, and it
Yeah.
enables the athletes to bring out their everything. This is what we try and do with our live streaming, where we share live comments on the feed. At least then the athletes can go back and see that when they're reviewing their lifts, when the coaches are reviewing their lifts,
Mm.
and that, because it just, the support is what makes it. And hopefully through conversations like this, Nico, it'll encourage more people to go to competitions, to support the athletes and help grow the sport. And then you can see it now, hopefully also people get involved when they go through. They figure, hey,
Yeah.
I'd like to give this a go.
No, that is
Mm,
so true that you're saying right there. I mean, there's a couple of competitions where if it wasn't for the crowd, I would
mm,
have definitely not have been able to lift the way that I was lifting.
right.
And it's not like and I think what's also important to remember, I'm sure like
Mm,
the strongman shares the sentiment, but it's not, you don't go out there to do it for the crowd's praise,
yeah.
but when it's just like it's having a 16th play in rugby. It's having the 12th player in our hockey team. For us, it's
Mm,
basically
mm.
putting on equipped gear, if I can use the
Yeah,
strongman's term,
100%.
and going out there. And it just helps you to perform at such a high level that I didn't think was capable of. So it makes the world of a difference.
That's such a great analogy, Nick. You hit the nail on the head, right? It's like lifting raw or lifting equipped. Like, that's the difference. Phenomenal. I love that. So, from that competition, what was next? And we're moving towards quite a big competition. So let's
Mm.
chat about that. What was that like for you?
So I haven't done too many competitions. I think
Mm,
I'm like sitting at six now, where like in like all my time weightlifting.
mm,
So we were very selective.
yeah.
I think Andrew was very some would say conservative. But we always had a plan. It was like, okay, let's first get the basics right,
Mm,
build the foundation, and then we can build on top of that. This might take a little bit longer to get the full potential out of like me now. Or I like to call us a team, so out of
yeah,
us.
100%.
But obviously we know where we're heading. So second competition was actually Gauteng champs that year. And I think actually that was Will's maybe his first
Mm,
competition.
mm.
Because I remember like seeing this guy, I was just like, who the hell is this guy? Just rocks up, clean and jerks, like
yeah.
takes 10 kilo jumps. I'm like, I'm like,
yeah.
Andrew, do you know this guy?
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
was actually quite funny now thinking back about it and like to see where he's obviously where he's in his journey.
Yeah.
So, and I think that competition was also one that was very fun. So it did like it was I came third in the 89s, but both guys in front of me, all three of us that were on the podium came from the bar strength and conditioning.
Okay.
So it was actually quite fun because the guy that got second was my training partner, Greg, and then Vuyani came first. He normally trains in the morning. Sometimes he'll join us. He joined us in the evening. So it was actually like quite fun for me because everybody's competing, but we all know we want the best out of each other. And to do that, we need to push each other. Um, so that was quite fun. Fast
Awesome.
forward to end of year.
Mm,
That was essays again. And I think that's one of the competitions that stands out for me. And I think it was more in terms of like the competition itself. So I got second, I think That's yeah, Will won that one.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why, I mean, normally guys will put the one that they won like the best competition.
Yeah.
But I think that one is still one of my favorites, just because the battle between me and him, the battle between Rodney and Andrew. I just think like
Yeah.
all those factors, because as much as it's a battle between me and Will, it's also a battle between the brothers.
I think it's a bigger
And
battle
just
between the brothers,
yeah,
because they've been doing it for so long. They know one another so well.
exactly.
Mm,
So it's just like chatting about like the lead up to that, like
yeah.
chatting about the tactics and stuff. I had to do a massive weight cut because I was an idiot and ate way too much cake.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Um,
It happens. Yeah.
and yeah, it happened. But I mean, it was actually quite fun, the weight cut and everything, because it made me feel like a real weightlifter for some
Yes.
reason.
Yeah. No. Fair. hundred
But yeah,
percent.
like
Yeah.
yeah, and on the day, it was like I went out for a snatch, Will goes, and
Mm-mm.
every time it's just like kilo more, kilo more, kilo more. And I managed to pump him in the snatch and then
Mm.
got to the clean and jerk. And I mean, he has amazing clean and jerk. So I knew I had to like get some sort of lead in the snatch going up to the clean and jerk. I
Right.
thought I would be able to like not maybe not beat him, but like essentially match him in the clean and jerk.
Mm.
Ended up missing my last attempt, and he got his attempt. So overall,
Mm.
it's
Mm.
like clean and jerk is king. So normally the guy wins, clean and jerk wins. So he managed to beat me there. But I think just the whole competition is like going a kilo more, kilo more. We sitting there in the back room looking at each other, kind of like laughing a little bit of like what's happening.
Yeah.
Um, so it was a very fun competition. Then last year's essays was, I think, one of the competitions where I was a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
So in between, I did like Gautengs, but that was more like almost like a stepping
Mm.
competition, more
Mm.
like a, let, I didn't treat it as
Part
like
of your warm up,
to,
your training, basically. Yeah.
yes, part of a training competition. Managed to still do quite well, which I was very happy with, but again, clean and jerks lacking there a bit. And
Mm.
then essays was, I think I came in with a plan. And the plan was, as I always say, I think to get the best out of myself. But the second, like one, the very close one of that is like, I don't want to lose again.
Yeah.
Um, so I knew, and I was in quite good shape. I was happy with how training went.
Mm. Mm.
Actually, training went very smoothly. Didn't have any real hiccups. Not perfect, but in weightlifting, I don't think you ever have a perfect prep. So I was like quite happy with how it went.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, managed to secure first place. So I think that was like a quite nice like yes for
Awesome.
me.
Yeah.
But again, it was like the competition and everything. I like competing. I
Mm.
like going out and like showcasing what I can do. So yeah, and then
Awesome.
from there on, it's basically prep for the big competition that's coming up now.
Yep. So let's chat a little bit about that. I mean, it's part of. I mean, that was some of the cause, right? Getting you into it.
Yeah.
That hopes and dreams becoming goals, becoming part of the focus. What can you tell us? How's the prep going? What are some of the expectations? I don't want to get into trouble with either of the Anthony brothers. So, because when they're competitive coaches, but now for South
Yeah.
Africa, it becomes a team effort. And I think one of the biggest challenges is when you're at competition and being coached by one of them, they sound exactly the same when they're screaming for you.
100%. Yeah. Sometimes
Yeah.
I don't know the difference.
Yeah. Which is very, very cool.
um
But you must ask your coach to show you the picture of him in his very small, tiny singlet at the YMCA in Joburg when he was lifting when he was younger. So I got to see that at
is that the
Rodney.
one with where he still has the afro?
Yeah, you've seen it. Okay, you know the
Oh, I've seen it. That is the best
there's
picture
like
I've seen.
yeah. Okay, so there we
No,
go.
love that.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a
So,
Commonwealth Games. I mean, it's phenomenal.
so I mean, it's that has been the goal from
Mm,
the start. Like I was like, okay, I want to go to Commonwealth Games. I I was like, okay, like
Mm.
it kind of fits in terms of like just timeline wise where I started, like ages that you normally peak at weightlifting, kind of like everything fell in like into place, if I
Mm-hmm.
can put it like that. But prep for the competition has not been going yeah,
Mm.
like we would have hoped.
Okay.
I think beginning of the year was a very rough training session. So leading up to like Mauritius African Champs had a not the best like cycle that I could have had. Definitely felt like I was underperforming. And there from there on, like a couple of weeks ago, I went to Bloemfontein for the Free State Champs.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of just like get the Mauritius competition like behind
Yeah.
me and
Yeah.
get to lift again a little bit more. And that actually went quite well, which gave us hope and it showed that we are able to get where we want to go. Because the numbers that you're realistically aiming for is in between like a 320 and 330 total. That should maybe depends on obviously how tough the competition gets, but like from the entry list, you can kind of like gauge that's
Mm.
normal. That's where you'll need to place to be able to qualify for Commonwealth Games, I would say.
Right.
That's in the 94 division. Um, so yeah, I like from that competition going into like the final, I would say like what I think it was either 4 or 6 weeks
Mm-hmm.
worth of prep. I knew like we'll be able to do it. Unfortunately, again, this prep has not been going to plan. Yes, that it was supposed to be a big clean and jerk day, and like I managed to, I think I got to like 90% of like what I think I'm capable of,
Right.
like what I've been able to do. So it's a little bit frustrating. Feels like I'm underperforming,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still weeks left. There's still
Yep.
hope and I know what I'm able to do. So it's now about like I actually have a call after this with Andrew to chat about it.
Okay.
It's like
Awesome.
to like let's to have like not an emergency meeting, but like to chat about the game plan. Like
Yeah.
let's get the best out of us. Because we know what we can do. We believe that if we get those numbers, we will be able to get in between like the 320, 330 total
Awesome.
and be able to qualify. It's
Mm-hmm.
just about not running out of time
Yeah.
or more like running out of competitions.
Yes. So I think, that's the amazing thing with the sport where either way it can turn, meaning that you can
Yeah.
suddenly be rocking when you weren't, or vice versa. So it's always sometimes better to be coming out of a struggle because the only way is up, rather than where everything's
Yep.
going perfect and then on the day it can really mess with your head. So I think I'm not what you've got a great coach, you've got a great coaching team that you're working with. Not worried. You're gonna rock it. So it's gonna be absolutely awesome. Because I mean that's basically what Will told me as well. So there we. So it's going to be. I think it's really going to be great, and it just I think it's showing up, it's doing the work, it's getting the
Mm.
consistency, and then taking it as it comes on the competition and just getting that bar up. Mm.
That's all basically that you
All
need
we
to
can do,
do.
yeah.
Just get that ball from the ground to overhead.
Overhead, yeah.
The
Doesn't
one in one movement, the other in two
that's
movements,
it.
and
And-
it's
and-
never
Yeah. No,
it's
no,
never too
unless you
late
snatch.
to
No, no, unless you snatch like me, then it's one movement. Or so I mean, clean and jerk like me, there's one movement. There's otherwise it's not coming up.
make sense.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
We'll just let you snatch 6 times in a row. How
Right. Yeah.
about that?
No, no, that's fine. Yeah, perfect. I look like I'm trying to put something on the top shelf of the kitchen. So from the Woolies bag to the
Well, I
yeah,
mean, that's still winning. That's
yeah,
still winning. I mean,
yeah,
because to get your
absolutely.
arms up,
Yeah, you
that's
get it up. That's it, 100%.
we love it.
Yeah. So I wanted to chat a little bit about the sport just before we start wrapping up,
Yeah.
because I know you do have your other call. What is it sort of for you? What does weightlifting mean to you?
Oh, that's a very good question. I think what weightlifting means for me is it's kind of like a vehicle to showcase the ability that God gave me in a way to glorify Him through
Sure.
what I can do. It's a platform that I can use to like I say, to
Mm.
glorify him, because I believe that he gave me the ability. He gave, um, yeah, I think he put this on my heart to kind of start, and I think I can always look back at the journey and see how everything just kind of falls into place, even
Mm-hmm.
though like in that moment it felt like it was impossible. I know
Mm.
everything kind of works out like how they do. So for me, weightlifting as a sport is a way that I can express myself. It's a
Mm.
way that I can go every day because I love training. Like I'll continue to train, whether it's weightlifting, purely weightlifting,
Mm-hmm.
or whether it's I wouldn't say running per se, but it's
No, no.
always going to be
Running is how you
something,
get
and
to training. With all due
I'll
respect to
walk.
the
I don't
runners,
run.
yeah, no, 100%. No, I'm a powerlifter. I walk as well.
Yeah. So yeah, weightlifting for me as a sport is a way that you can express yourself. It's a
Mm.
way that I see it as art
Sure. Yep.
because there's so much that goes into this. It's not a science. Weightlifting is an art. That's
Absolutely.
and as soon as you try and make it a science, then like you're heading in, I feel like, the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there's a lot of things that is scientific about weightlifting, but it's still at the end of the day, it's an art. That's why when you see the best, it looks
Yeah,
effortless,
that's it.
as art does. So for me,
And there's more
in
freedom in art, right? Because it's a form of expression. So rather than
exactly,
being limited and stuck within the science behind it.
yeah. So yes, it's a very mundane,
Mm.
boring sport. To do the same two lifts for your whole life. Nothing changes about them. Hopefully the press out little, but anything other than that,
Yeah,
nothing changes. So
sure.
but for me, it's the way that you change in this journey.
Yes,
And like I say, for me, I see weightlifting as a vehicle through a way
sure.
I can express myself and glorify God.
I love that. I mean, 'cause that's just, it's in its most honest, simplest form. That's what it is.
Mm,
And I think if you got that connection and you understand that everything that's happening within that journey is in your best interest and in your,
yeah,
what's best for you. And it's, we have to deal with it. We have to learn from it. And in hindsight, 20 years from now, it's much easier to learn the lessons than in the
yeah.
moment. But that's where the growth comes from as well, not just in the lifting, but as a person. I think so. Leading on from that question, what is it? Is there anything that you can define sort of that weightlifting has given you?
I think weightlifting has given me a community of like-minded people,
Hmm.
a community of people that really like strives to bring out the best of themselves.
Mm.
I think where other sports and things are tend to like you just want to be that guy or something like that. I think the environment in weightlifting, although it can tend towards that,
Mm.
but I think it gave me a community of people that just want to see you succeed.
Right.
And weightlifting has given me the opportunity. Well, I mean, on the more not so deep level, it
Mm.
gave me like the it gave me some like the ability to travel.
Yeah.
I've never before weightlifting, I've never been out of the country,
Sure.
and now this will be my third time. So I think just as
Yeah.
something as simple as that. But
But that
yeah, I
true.
think
Yeah.
weightlifting gave
Sure.
me a purpose,
Mm.
and a means by which I can express, like I say, myself, and a means which I can be competitive in a way that I also like to do.
Sure. And I think from the sense that I get is it's a way, it's given you a way to connect with yourself.
Yeah,
Which is really kind of cool. And because you really do, you need to be connected physically and mentally and spiritually to get those weights up. It's really,
100%.
it's that millisecond moment. Even with powerlifting, I would say it's actually a little bit slower. Particularly with the deadlift but with the
Yeah.
weightlifting, it's that millisecond that starts is everything, and in getting that weight up. So phenomenal. within South Africa, it's quite a small sport, and I think also the community
Mm.
is special in South Africa because it is a small sport, and also because of how fundamentally awesome South Africans are. I think like we really do
100%.
love one, and like we want the best for one another. We've all come, like all of the communities that are in South Africa have come through struggle. Like the last couple of generations, you've come out to this country, and like the families had to fight and struggle and build and work, and as we said, like you become tough in Kimberley, but it's you look out for your neighbor. We support one another,
Yeah.
and it's Ubuntu at its finest. What do you think? Powerlifting, excuse me, automatic question. Weightlifting needs in South Africa in particular.
I think one of the obvious answers is funding,
Mm,
but like regardless of like funding and like more people participating, I would like to see weightlifting in South Africa. What it needs is it's to be a bit more connected.
mm,
I think you have great weightlifting groups, great weightlifting camps, and I think what would elevate just what we have at the moment, regardless of funding,
mm,
regardless of extra talent that comes in, I think what would elevate the sport is a little bit more togetherness, a little bit more of, okay, let's share, let's help
mm,
one
mm,
another. Kind of like what you say about like the Ubuntu. I
mm.
think to bring that a little bit more into weightlifting, not see the sport. It's not like it's super divided and like I hate you, you hate
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
or anything like that. But it's just more of like a universal. Okay, we want to get the best out of each other.
Mm,
How do we do that? By combining, because maybe there's
100%.
something that I see in whatever let's say. Well, maybe I
Mm,
see something in snatch
mm, mm.
that like can help you maybe snatch 1 kilo more, 2 kilos more. Maybe it's just snatching the same weight, but a bit more
Yeah. For two
accurate.
reps kind of thing, Yeah, that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think if weightlifting can get that, because I mean, everybody in weightlifting loves weightlifting. That's why we're in the sport. Um,
Yeah.
you're not in the sport to become a millionaire. That's why there's other
Yeah.
stuff you
No,
can
so you
do.
have soccer. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's to be there for one
Sure.
another and kind of like help each other to get to that next level because I believe we have the talent to be competitive.
Mm,
I believe we have the resources as is to be competitive. I just think we need to um, be more in terms of like more of a team
mm,
that we currently are
sure.
and
I
not
love that.
individual star
Yeah.
players.
And I think it's, where you understand that, okay, let's make the end goal medals for the
Mm.
country. When there's medals for the country, there's more support that comes from the
Hmm.
official level and from the public. And when that happens, everybody benefits. There's a wonderful thing in karate called a gashku, and that is where all the
Okay.
black belts from the whole system. So you talk about different dojos, maybe even in the same city, fighting for students within the same system, but all of the black belts would go away to a camp for a weekend or a week, and you all train the basics again together. You all work together, and it's exactly that principle of, hey, have you tried this? Drop your elbow, but all of these small things and the conversations and the discussions, over dinner at night and over breakfast in the morning, where you build and you understand that you're doing this for the good of the system to keep the system on the highest possible level. And I think that's exactly what you said. It's the connection and the understanding that the challenge is every gym is a business and it has to support
Yep.
and feed the coaches. But when we all pull together and support one another, no one is going to lose a client by backing another,
Yes.
by working with another coach and having a community with another coach. It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And if it does, over 20 years, it'll balance out. So
That's the thing.
but then the whole country benefits, the whole sport. I love chatting to the UK guys in powerlifting with the equipped lifting, because a few years ago they
Mhm.
made a decision that they will all, irrespective of what gym, what club you're part of, they all donate their, let's say, relatively used equipment to GB powerlifting, and that means that there's equipment for everybody to try and use. And now that's why the whole country is getting stronger. There are more athletes coming in, they're more performing, and everybody's
Yep.
doing better. So it's that exact thing. I mean, that's such a great point that you made, Nico. Thank you for that.
No, I think you summed it up there perfectly.
Really, really cool, dude. It's been epic chatting to you. So please, please, please let us know how the journey is going, how things are. And when you're there, we want to chat to you as well when you're at Commonwealth Champs.
With pleasure.
Uh-huh.
Before I go,
Yeah,
before I
please. No, no.
can
Oh,
I ask you a question?
100%. Sure.
What is I like to go because I mean you have spent a lot of time with strongmen,
Mm,
powerlifters, weightlifters as well.
mm.
What is the one thing you would say that the top 0.1% of the top 1%,
Yes,
like what do you see those men and women have in common? Is there like a common theme?
100%. They're
And
stuffed in the head.
what would you say that is?
Yep, they're stuffed in the head. They are stuffed. They are there's something wrong. The elevator doesn't go all the way to the top floor. And I can speak for myself within martial arts and to a degree within
Yeah,
lifting, because I think there's a level of commitment that is
yeah,
not normal. Like, and I mean that with all due respect, and with all due respect to members of
yeah.
the public, that when you are able to perform at that level, 80% of your benefit is coming from that extra 20% that you're putting in over the 100% that everyone else is putting in.
Mm,
So I think it's, if you can look at it like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with every elite athlete. And I know elite
100%.
elite mountain climbers and guys that will go and put themselves in such risk. I mean, if you look at, like, I was watching a documentary on the Navy SEALs, and I think I stand corrected. It's like 10 or 18 guys have died during selection, right?
Oh
That
wow.
willingness to put yourself
Mm,
in that level of risk to attain something, there's something that's, so I don't want to say, like, they're stuffed in the head, there's something wrong with them, there's something wrong with me. But it's and I'm not saying that I'm on any level elite at all, but particularly in martial arts, some of the guys I've been beaten up by for extended periods of time, there's definitely something wrong there, because it's a willingness to go beyond. Here, this is it. It's a willingness to go
yeah.
beyond without question. That's it. It's like the question
A
doesn't
willingness to
even
go
occur.
beyond.
Yeah. It's a willingness to go beyond without question, and the question doesn't even occur to them.
I'm writing that down. I need
Cool. No, but
it.
that's, and within all of that, then comes another level of safety. It's not training to the point where you hurt yourself and you do silly stuff. Sometimes that
Yeah,
willingness to go beyond means taking 2 days off to recover because coach told you to, even though you go insane sitting on the couch and not training. So it's that
that's very true.
yeah, it's that willingness to go beyond without question. That's what separates the guys at the very, very top. It's they sacrifice what they have to sacrifice. They do what they have to do, and also within that, I think, is, whether it's family time, meals, whatever is necessary, they do it with the objective of getting to what they want to get to, achieving what they want to achieve. But the
Mm,
moment that's off and that's done, they can revert back to being a little bit more normal, like members of the public, in terms of a snack,
that makes sense.
family time, and that. So it's but I think that's really it, and it's an incredible thing to see, and it's an incredible thing to be part of, because where I'm happy to stay in bed on a Sunday morning, the elite guy is at the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning without question, and
Yeah,
that's it, and it's just that simple. Or resting while all his mates are at the gym having fun. He knows he has to rest, or she knows she has to rest, and the willingness to do that. Did that sort of answer the question a bit?
No, 100%.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's it. So it's been, yeah, it's fun. You know, I've been fortunate to compete at international level, to coach at international, to take athletes to platform. Also being sober. I think, you know, I've been sober for 18 years and seeing people in
Oh, wow.
recovery that have stayed sober. It's that
Mm.
willingness, you know, to go beyond without question. It's like the guy, for me, first, before I walked into treatment, my first day, I sat in my car and I said, these guys know better than me. I'm going to shut up and do whatever the hell they tell me. And that was the start of
Yeah.
my recovery. And I think you can relate that to training as well. Like you found, you know, you found the coaching system, the coaching team, the support structure that works for you, and you do what coach tells you without question. You know, because without question means you free up mental capacity to apply to the lift. It's that simple. There's no niggling
Yeah.
thought in your head about, yeah, but if I saw on Instagram that my feet should be, you know, 2 feet apart, not, you know, within
Mm.
shoulder width kind of thing, and this shoe and that grip and this kind of chalk, and where you just go, okay, coach, and get the movement done. Dude, I get excited
That's very
about this.
true. No, that's what gets me excited as well.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Talking about that 0.1%.
That's 100. Yeah. You know, and I think it's a really cool thing that I really do believe you're born with it. I must be honest.
Okay.
I think there's an element of nurture that comes with that, but a family that's going
Mm.
to nurture, like you mentioned with your family, that's going to nurture healthy competition. There's already experience of healthy competition. So
Yeah.
genetically, there's that, you know, if you then go back and look at how did it go, you go through all of your grandparents, you know, what was the level of healthy competition amongst their siblings and how they were raised.
Yeah.
And then that nurture, but there's a genetic component of that. There's whether it's a spiritual component, whatever it is. And then you can apply that as much as possible. That's not to say that people who come from a family that there's not that, are not going to achieve on that highest level because they may just not realize they have that genetic component. But there's a I think not genetic potentially, but just a born component because I see it within guys that there's a look in the eye. Um, I have a wonderful martial arts instructor and a dear friend of mine, Dion Franceman, who I've been training with for 3 decades. He's been beating me up for 3 decades, and he truly is one of the best full contact fighters in the world. And this is not UFC or EFC stuff. This is
Yeah.
by invitation tournament with the best guys in the world. I mean, there was a tournament that he got involved in. It was 100 full contact fights in 100 minutes.
Oh my
So you're
word.
on like double tennis court, and a buzzer goes, and you go to the next guy, and it's scored, and it's you basically just to go through it. So I mean, go and throw punches for 100 minutes. And I see within Dion, like when we were sparring, I felt very safe because he was my instructor, and I knew that he would push me beyond what I believed I was capable of, but to
Mm.
the point that he knew I was safe. But he would get a look in his eyes that we would call a specific look. The guys who trained with him, it like a switch would
Mm.
go. There would be and we'd be like, whoa, 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 stop, stop, time, because that's when it just goes up another level, and there's nothing
Yeah.
human that you can do to stop that. And it's just I see that within elite athletes as well. You can laugh and joke, but the moment I don't even think it's with weightlifting and powerlifting. It's the moment your hands go around the bar, you feel that knurling, you feel that something switches, and boom, it's on. It's almost like a different person that was in the waiting room, in the holding
Mm.
area. So I think it's just that switch, and it's you may not even realize you're doing it, but if you look at slow motion video, you know, it's a great thing to be filmed walking out. And I don't want to put extra stuff into your head as the athlete, but see, like you can be like la 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 la, hands go on the bar, dunk, the face change, you know, everything changes,
Yeah.
and you can see that. And
No,
yeah,
that's true.
yeah. I love sitting with experienced coaches and lifters. So like on the jury at comps and stuff, at powerlifting, and they'll be going, he's going to miss it, he's going to get it, she's going to miss it, she's going to get it, and like how, and they're on every time. It's a crazy thing. So
Mm.
within that, this is the thing maybe that I'd like to finish on. if your coach gives you the weight, he knows better than you that you can get it up.
That's true.
So that's really, how that's a great way just to sort of maybe to wrap this up and say, you know what, if the coach is putting the weight on the bar, you just do your best to get it up because the coach
Yeah.
knows.
No, that's so true. Also shows
Yeah,
the importance of the coach as well. But I mean,
100%.
um,
You can't be your best without a coach. And
yeah,
and a coach by your side. And what I hope is, I'm going to get in trouble because I've got to jump into at 12 o'clock now. But um, what I hope as well is with the number of amazing online coaches, that the athletes start to understand the value of also having them at competition and bringing
yeah.
their coaches to comp, because it's an absolute game changer.
No,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean,
yeah,
I've been lucky enough to
yeah.
always have Andrew there. So
Yeah, 100%. No, it's very special as well. So awesome. Nico, thank you, dude, for your time. Really appreciate it. It's been epic chatting. We cannot wait to chat to you again when you're overseas. We're looking forward to that. Got to give you one of these, and to make it fun. So it's absolutely awesome, dude.
yeah,
Thank you for your time. Sorry that I've got to run. I've got someone that's coming to see me
no,
now at 12, but the tie was
yeah.
on for you. So there we are. Awesome, Nick. It was a
No, I
wonderful,
just want
wonderful
to say
chat.
thank you so much
Yep.
again
Yep.
for this opportunity.
No,
Had a great time with this conversation. Looking forward to calling you from India and hopefully with some good news.
no, it'll be absolutely epic news, 100%. You're a great ambassador for the sport, and it's an honor and a privilege for us to have you on, Nico. So thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Awesome,
Enjoy the
dude.
day.
You too. Cheers, my man. Absolutely good. Thanks, Nick. Bye, guys. Bye bye. Ah, that was absolutely awesome having Nico on chatting to us. Sorry, guys, that I have to run and jump out of here so quickly, but got to get to another meeting, and it's going to be fun. So have a lot of fun, guys. Have a great day. We will see you soon. Keep an eye on both channels. Please remember also to go and check out the Emmet Lifestyle channel so that you can see what we've got in store for World Masters in Cape Town, just what to do in the city, and also for WPC World Champs in Durban in November, what to do in Durbs. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us from the Emmet Media Studio in Johannesburg. I'm Nicholas Single.